Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to call this series, I suppose, nor what to call you guys. So if you have any ideas, let me know, because out of habit I just want to say hello clients, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're my client. So on this series, I answer questions, normally hair questions, that people have for me, and I kind of explain it in a little bit more depth. So today I got a really good question about using a stripper on the hair, and coincidentally I did a stripper yesterday, so I was quite excited to go into a little bit more depth about this question. So the little lady, what she had asked me, and I'll try to give you as close to what she had asked, was, I did a bleach on my hair yesterday, and I still have plenty of red left over. I would like to go to Sally's and do a stripper, but I don't want to make my hair any more dry than it already is. What should I do? So, with that, I pretty much tried to tell her that a lot of strippers will do more damage to your hair because of how it goes in and tries to remove the color. And if she was to do that without knowing more information about the stripper, it could do more damage. I've had a lot of clients who have come in and told me that they just did a stripper on their hair and it destroyed what they had left. The integrity wasn't that great. It was extremely dry. And so then I explained to her about the stripper that we have in our salon, and that she didn't necessarily have to, come to me to get it stripped, but it would definitely be a good idea because of the way that our stripper works, or the ingredients that our stripper has. So, breaking down how strippers tend to work, and not all are equal or the same, so I'll give you a few different instances of what they might do. A lot of strippers actually take the color molecule and shrink it. So that's still in there, but it's not nearly as visible. So if that is how it works, if you were to come back in with, let's say, a bleach or something that might work against, or just have some kind of paranormal activity with the hair, it could grow the molecule back to its original size. I have seen somebody use a stripper on somebody. The color looked like it was completely gone, and then they went to use another product on it, and it came back. It wasn't nearly 100% what it was, but I mean, she had green in her hair. They used a stripper to take out the green, and then when they went to put another product back on it, the green came back. So it's all in a matter of what kind of stripper it is, and what the stripper does. There are other strippers. What it does is it opens up the cuticle. And what I mean by opens up the cuticle, there are, I guess best way to put it is, little pores all over your hair strands. And when you use heat, or when you use hot water or certain chemicals, there's a lot of different factors in that. It will open up those pores, and when it opens up the pores, it can help release any of the color out of that area of the hair. And when it does that, when your pores are completely open, pores. I hope you understand what I mean. It dries the hair out. The more that cuticle is blown open, the more dry the hair is. The more closed it is, the more moisturized the hair can be. So when you go to use that stripper, it opens that up to pull the color chemicals out. And if it doesn't get closed back up, which depending on how it's done, it can definitely leave you extremely dry. But this all has to do with what kind of chemicals are in it, what kind of products are used to make this stripper. In my salon, we are using a clay base, and the clay is very, very safe. The lady who did the introduction on how to use this was explaining that it removes softly, so it can move 1 to 3 levels in one sitting. And in order for her to get all black out that was put in by box dye, she had to use 5 different settings, and she had to do it 5 different times in order to get it where she needed it to be. But that just shows you how soft and careful it is. Not all strippers are equal or the same, and so it is very possible that this is where you can land. Now I want you to remember I am driving, and I'm trying to focus and remember things and speak to you at the same time. So if I don't make sense, just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get you. This is pretty much the only time I have to sit down and do something like this, so this is why I do it like this. So then the gal that I was talking to, the one that had the question, she was just kind of like, okay, well, should I just come in and get a stripper done? And that's when I had explained to her that one, stripping is not going to take you back to your natural color. Most strippers don't work like that unless it's extremely harsh, at least that I'm aware of, or that I have come to the understanding of. And that's why our stripper only does 1 to 3 levels of lift in one sitting. So, I mean, it just kind of depends. I have had one client where she came in and she had box dyed red on it, and we did 2 strippers, and it lightened it a little bit, but that red was still there. Red is one of the most difficult pigments to remove from the hair. And I mean, that would go into a whole nother video of best ways to work around that. So if you would like to know about that, just leave a comment, let me know. And yesterday, what I did yesterday, she had a few years worth of box dye on it. It was brown. She has a natural white silver, and she wanted to go back to her natural. I did 2 passes on her, and she was she lifted about 2 to 3 levels. It was originally about a level 6, which is like a medium brown, and I got her up to almost a light brown, but it still had a lot of warm tones in it still, and red being one of the warmest tones that there are, it was a little bit more difficult to work around. So if you have any more questions, comments, concerns, if you have more information you would like to add to that, I'm always willing to learn a little bit more. Not every stylist knows absolutely everything, so we are constantly learning. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and I hope you learned something, and you have a great day.